Behind me is an ancient site of worship erected nearly 1,400 years ago. It sees thousands of tourists and pilgrims every year. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a place of comfort for many. This is the story of the Buddha Stupa. On a warm spring day, as a casual breeze cools the air, a shining white tower rises from a hill. This is the Buddha Stupa. In the land of Tibet, 1,400 years ago, a king would rise to power. His name was Songtsen Gampo. His martial conquest would expand the Tibetan kingdom into modern-day Nepal and China. As he toured the neighboring cultures, he would discover Buddhism and would eventually convert, becoming the first Buddhist king of Tibet. Since Tibet had no written language, he sent a minister to study Sanskrit in India and develop a new writing system for Tibet. He ruled from 617 to 650 AD. It was during this time that the first stupa here would be established. It would stand for centuries, but it would eventually be torn down by another empire. The Mughal Empire ruled northern India from the 16th to the 18th centuries. It was founded by a Turkic prince in the mid-1500s, but Muslims had been coming to India since the 11th century. Although the Mughals never directly invaded Nepal, there was an attack on Kathmandu years before the Mughal Empire had formed. The founder of the Bengal Sultanate, Shamsuddin Ilyas Shah, would invade Kathmandu in 1349. The city would be sacked, and many temples and stupas would be destroyed, including the Buddha Stupa. The stupa would be rebuilt and expanded upon over the following years. The 2015 earthquake left the stupa heavily damaged. On November 3rd of that year, reconstruction would begin. It has since been fully rebuilt. The base of the stupa symbolizes the earth, the shining white dome the water, and the spire symbolizes the sky and the beyond. This represents the Buddha's three-dimensional path towards enlightenment. The 13 steps on the spire symbolizes the 13 stages that a person needs to reach nirvana. The stupa stands today as a culturally significant monument in Kathmandu. The Buddha Stupa is a vital part of Nepal's culture and religious history. Thousands of pilgrims and tourists visit it every year. It's a must-see if you're ever in Kathmandu. The stupa and its significance to the people of Nepal will never be forgotten.
Roasted coffee beans, the grind of the machines, filtered memories of when we met. When she made fun of me for ordering hot tea, unsure what I wanted and haven't found it yet. We planted roses out of season, and that's the whole reason. There's no roses, but they're straight out our hands. We planted roses out of season, and that's the whole reason. There's no roses, but they're straight out our hands. Never had a green thumb, never wanted roses. I just wanted to have some fun, never wanted roses. planted